Road and Danes Drive as officers carried out inquiries. Locals were told there will be an increased police presence in the area. John Sweeney has been elected unopposed as the leader of the Scottish National Party and is expected to become the next First Minister. In his acceptance speech, he promised to focus on the economy, jobs, public services and the environment, and he also promised to seek common ground with political opponents and said those against Scottish independence should work with us. Richie Soon has said the general election result is not a foregone conclusion despite a disappointing set of local elections for the Tories. The party lost 470 council seats as well as all but one mayoral contest. He said he's determined to fight on. And now for African news. South Africa is in mourning following the tragic demise of actor Mfo Sieben. The 30-year-old died on Sunday the 5th of May in a car accident in Potchefstroom, Northwest Province. Sibang, who was a celebrated figure in South Africa's entertainment landscape, had a career that spanned almost 2 decades, starting from when he was 12 years old, marked by remarkable performances and accolades. And that's the latest from Jambo Newsroom. I'm Andrew Baini.
Need security? Call Alpha One Plus Limited, a strategic security resourcing platform that connects you with licensed security personnel. We cater for our clients' security needs, from manned guarding, door supervision, event security, all the way up to close personal protection. Alpha One Plus Limited, your one-stop security solution. Call now at 44-074-2526-7909 or send us an email on info@alphaoneplus.com.
Established in 2006 as one of Glasgow's original mobile massage therapists, we deliver high-quality treatments with the ambition to forge permanent relations with clientele. We specialise in on-site massage, a type of treatment that has been specifically designed to complement the convenience and availability of massage at work. It is performed with the use of a specialist mobile chair, without the use of oils or the need to remove clothing. At Massage & Glow, we believe that massage should be a part of your everyday lifestyle. Regular massage not only relieves stress and tension, but also stimulates blood circulation, can help with pain management, and promotes good mental health. A must for your busy schedule. Various holistic therapies available. Contact us now on 07530 905 152 for your mobile massage therapist.
You are listening to Jambo Radio. You can now download the Jambo Radio mobile app on your smartphone from the App Store, Google Store, or Play Store. You can now use our Jambo Radio app on your smart mobile phone or device to contact us and also send us your song request. And now it's time for our next program, interviews in which we talk to ordinary people doing extraordinary things for the community.
Hello and welcome to TouchPoint with Tayo Oweye. On TouchPoint, we discuss issues concerning Africans and Africans in diaspora. We educate minds and touch on trendy issues. On TouchPoint today, we're still on the issues of crossing borders, and we're looking at the issue of living a balanced life. I have my guests in the house. I have 2 guests today, and very lovely and wonderful guests live in our Jambo Radio Scotland studio in the heart of Glasgow. I have Dr. Bode Balogun in the house, a medical doctor, and I have Temi Alonge, a PR consultant and personal blogger. You're both welcome to TouchPoint with Tayo today.
Thank you, Dr. T.
Thank you for having us.
Nice to have you guys. You can join the conversation live today on our social media handles. You can watch live on YouTube on Jambo Radio Scotland or Facebook at Jambo Radio Scotland too. On X, you can join us at jambo radio.scot, And on Instagram, we are on jamboradio.scotland. And in case you want to join us via email, you can join us on info. Send your text, send your message, send your questions and comments on info@jamboradio.co.uk. Send us a comment. We are talking about living a balanced life. Yes, Bode and Temi, thank you for coming today. As usual, I would like to start with statistics, and which, according to the International Organization for Migration, says that statistics used to be the starting point of conversation for any issue on migration. And it has been said that the current global estimate, this is as of 2020, that says that we have around 281 million international migrants all over the world. What a number that we have, and which equates to around 3.6% of the global population. And on an average, there are some characteristics that have been said about these migrants. And they said they experience greater poverty, lower level of income and wealth, more exposure to poor environmental and housing conditions as compared to the non-migrants. Then they find it hard to find decent work. They are more likely to be overqualified for their job, experience more in-work poverty and more atypical hours. I mean, they work more at odd hours, while migrants tend to be less satisfied in these areas where they are living. But it has also been found out that they still have a level of life satisfaction compared to those that left back at home. And the question in my head is, does migration make balanced life possible? Is it possible as a migrant to have a balanced life? What does it take for a migrant to have a balanced life? What is even the concept of living a balanced life? What does it mean? I want to roll the ball to you guys.
Bode, go first.
Okay, well.
You go first.
Okay. I like the fact that you've put statistics into it, because you've put the numbers into it, and that's good. But I think the narrative would change soon, and I think education is quite important. You said, is it possible for migrants to live a balanced life? I would say yes, and I would say no. And the reason why I'm saying no to start with is, it's, let's just give an example. You're leaving your home country to another country. There are a number of hoops that you would need to jump over. I mean, if anybody was leaving the UK to Nigeria, there'll be some hoops they need to jump over as well. It ranges from culture, language, and when I say language, I'm not talking about just English. I'm talking about colloquialisms that mean something to somebody and means nothing to you. Let's talk about the financial sector, where taking credit is the only way you can prove that you're credit worthy. So there's a number of hoops that you need to jump, and I would say yes, because once you've jumped those hoops, you can start living that balanced life.
I would second that, in the sense that it's a yes or no for me, because you are like a plant. Migrants are like plants uprooted from one soil into another soil. You have to give yourself some time to get rooted in the soil and bloom. It doesn't happen overnight, like Bode said. It doesn't happen overnight. You have to give yourself time. That takes a lot of, you have to prove a lot of things to yourself, to people. And first of all, let's take it back again. What does living a balanced life mean? To me, I think it's giving considerable attention to every facet of your life. Family, work, social life, and all of that. Something we weren't able to achieve 100% in our home country. We can't get here to another country where we're trying to make ends meet and then have that balanced life overnight. I'm not saying like a lot of people are trying to get it overnight. I think most people understand that it takes time. The moment you don't realize that it takes time and you're trying to rush yourself is when you start having mental issues,
and
anxiety,
imbalanced life.
and imbalanced life. So we have to. So let's just put that out there for starters. So it's a yes or no for me.
Oh, okay.
We didn't achieve it in Nigeria. We can't achieve it overnight here. So, but it's possible in the long run.
Okay. Yeah. If balanced life is possible, then I read a particular article, 2018, by Martin Hendrick. And he actually interviewed some migrants in the US and see what they made mention of. He said, I came to America because I heard the streets were paved with gold. When I got here, I found out 3 things. First, the streets weren't paved with gold. Second, they weren't paved at all. And third, I was expected to pave them. How do people prioritize their personal life? I mean, this is all about balancing. How do people prioritize their personal life while managing the demand of work? While managing them paving the road, paving their lives, and to be able to achieve their work and career aspiration? Probably, Tim, you want to go first?
I'll go first on this one. So we already know it's a common saying, health is wealth. Here, in this part of the world, we work so hard compared to where we come from, where we can find considerably, don't quote me or don't get me wrong, we can find ways around some things. It's our home. We have support system all around that can help us get by. But here you really have to work hard, especially for migrants like us. You really have to work extra hard to make ends meet. And at some point, especially when you're just new into the country, you have to take some survival jobs. They're called survival jobs. You have to take some survival jobs to make to pay those bills. They never stop coming in. They're like clockwork. They would come in. So you take some survival jobs and do some things that you don't see yourself doing in your home country, wherever you come from. That way, you are exhausted. You put work first, because the reality is that bill will come in, you have to pay. And then you put work first so much that you forget your health. And personally, I'll speak from a personal point of view. I learned from the people we're living with. They do not take holidays for granted. They do not joke about that. They prioritize it. And what you can do to balance that, but to balance that work life, is to just take that holiday serious. When it's time for that holiday, please do not take extra work. Do not think about anything that has to do with work, or it depends on the type of job you're doing. Don't take extra shift. Focus on that holiday. If you don't have a destination to go to, stay at home. Spend time with your children. Spend time with your husband. Have quality time. Relax your body, soul, and mind. Relax everything, and you see that by the time you're going back to work, you are refreshed. And you can even give your best to the job, and your family at home too have the best of you. So you can definitely balance it if you prioritize your health and know what you are focused on, and your what you aim to achieve. Okay. You can always balance it.
Okay. I would like Bode to dovetail that question into burnout, the concept of burnout.
I don't have a specific definition for burnout, but I would explain. And I think burnout is just when you're tired. And I feel that one of the causes of burnout is an imbalanced life. Because really there's more to you than your job. There's more to you than your family. There's more to you than your social status. There's some hidden gifts. There's some things that make you laugh, make you smile. I'm not saying your family doesn't make you smile or laugh, but there's some hobbies that you like to do.
Yeah.
And if one part of your life takes so much time that you don't have the time to do the things that you also like to do. So for example, you're working 8 to 9, you want to spend time with your family, you can't. It's frustrating because we are social beings as well. We have innate desires. So if you do not really know how to juggle things, then that would cause burnout. And I agree with Tammy. It's easier said than done, but I agree with Tammy that sometimes you need to prioritize and be deliberate about your extracurriculars, if I may add. Yeah.
So in terms of prioritization of your life and stuff like that, and in terms of your health, physical and mental well-being, amidst all these stresses, how do you see people prioritizing their life? What should they be doing in terms of prioritization? As a doctor.
You start from the doctor.
Well, I'll start with the definition of health, by the World Health Organization. Health is defined as the mental, social, physical well-being, not just merely the absence of illness or diseases. So the fact that you don't have any condition doesn't mean that you're healthy. And let's add another S. Let's add spirituality. So it's a combination of physical, mental, social, spiritual, and not just that you don't have any illness. And I want to be realistic here. If somebody moves from Africa or wherever, and they come here, and as I said earlier, there are a number of hoops they need to jump, and one of them is the ILR, the BRPs, the visas, that cost a fortune, and how easy will it be to prioritize holidays when you need to save up for these necessities? So I don't want to sit down here and say, oh yes, prioritize this. If you have to pay ILR for 3 people in the family, that costs a fortune.
Yes.
It will be silly to say that you're going to Spain with that money.
That time will come.
Yeah. So there are seasons, and I think we need to understand time and seasons. There are times, I like to describe a balanced life generally as juggling balls. A juggler does not hold on to one ball long enough that other balls will drop. And this is not to say that there are no seasons. There are seasons where the pivot might tilt towards a particular thing, but then that would be an exception and not a rule. So I think one of the things that people need to understand is patience, be kind to yourself, you'll get there. Yeah.
I have a personal issue with that whole concept about how to prioritize health, because I have people around me that I think are not taking advantage of the facilities that we have in this part of the world, especially in this country. There are some infrastructures in place here that we do not have in our own country. It's not as robust in our home country. The infrastructures are there, but it's not as robust as they are here. So we have this health, in terms of our health, we have everything in place for us to look after our health. And the only reason you would not take those things on is because maybe you don't take them seriously enough. I know some people that up to now, they haven't registered for their GP. You should do those things. And once you're in the system already, they call you. They know your health history, and they will call you. Even if you decide to forget about yourself, which you shouldn't, they will remind you and say, oh, you are due for this screening, you are due for that screening. And I just think that we should maximize every opportunity that we have in this part of the world to look after our health. We should not take it for granted. We shouldn't really take those things for granted. Please register for a GP. You've paid for it. Use it, and for yourself, for your children, every member of your family that's entitled to it. Use it, and then the system will look after you from then on. Do you have anything to add? I think you have some. Yeah. You look like you have something to add.
As a doctor.
Because he has more stats on that. On
yes,
people that
probably. It's something that we cannot really exhaust that area. But you can just touch on it.
Definitely, I'll play devil's advocate just now. It sounds easy. But look, there's some GP practices that it takes about 6 months for them to get registered. You have an appointment with a GP, you have to be done in 12 minutes.
Yes, I understand.
You know, so
that can be frustrating.
Yeah, so Africans or people in diaspora are not necessarily used to this kind of thing. So that in itself can get people like.
I mean, in a place where you know the doctor is an in-house friend, and you can quickly just go there
and call and say,
yes,
look, what's going on here?
In our home countries, you can walk in anytime and see a doctor, but then we wait till last minute to get it's when it becomes an emergency that you see the doctor there. You know, yes.
Yeah, I mean, you know, people need to be educated.
Yes.
People need to be educated, but you know, I would, you know, I'm trying to, you know, as I said,
play devil's advocate. I understand.
You know, well, you know, we're talking about Africans generally, but let me use Nigerians as a case study. We grew up in a culture where people are more quiet and silent about the things that bother them than to open up. So, you know, what about those that are afraid to go to the doctors because they're afraid that they'll find something
wrong with them?
And you know, their mind are thinking, what you don't know will kill you. Or the moment you realize that you have this problem, then you start falling ill. So, you know, you'll be shocked at people's mindset.
You see, that's a doctor's perspective now.
Yeah,
I did have.
It deals with that almost on a daily basis.
So, you know, a lot of people suffer from health anxiety. Health anxiety, for the definition is that health anxiety is when you think that there are a lot of things wrong with you. You have a headache, you think you've got cancer. You have this, you think it's this. But then I like to see health anxiety from another perspective. Is look, I'm fine. Why when
you're not actually fine.
What am I looking for? When there's nothing there? Why am I going fishing? So I'm going to the doctor, and the doctor now tells you, oh, your cholesterol is high.
You say,
and you just went for a baseline test. And now, or they do a scan and they say, oh, we've noticed that you got this fatty liver. you know, our culture does not necessarily by default see it as, oh, let me do this, let me do that.
It is not a problem.
The Western culture would embrace it and they'll walk towards it. But the Nigerian culture would feel like, what's going on here? I didn't know anything was wrong with me until now. They start.
My village people follow.
I just feel that. I'm sorry to cut you, but I just feel that now that we are here, why don't we just maximize every opportunity that we have? These are health issues that will be, God forbid, will probably be flown abroad to cater to if we had it in Nigeria. But we are here now. It's an opportunity to do all that checkup and do all that is necessary to know what's really wrong with our system. If there is anything wrong, find out early, get treated, get well, and then you can then think about balancing your life.
I mean, it's great. Get checked. Don't play with your health. Don't, you know, health is wealth.
We are here already. We're here.
Health is wealth. And at that point, let's go for a break. You know, we're just scratching the surface. We're just scratching the surface. So let's go for a break right now. After the break, we'll continue this conversation. Listeners, just hang on there. We're going for a break.
Yo, right across the internet, I could up on your mobile phone, I could up on your social media platform. This is Jambo Radio, www.jamboradio.co.uk. We're multilingual, we're conversational, in the languages where you understand. We are Jambo Radio, inspiring transformation. Right across the internet, I could up on your mobile phone, I could up on your social media platform. This is Jambo Radio, www.jamboradio.co.uk. We're multilingual, we're conversational, in the languages where you understand. We are Jambo Radio, inspiring transformation.
Need security? Call Alpha 1 Plus Limited, a strategic security resourcing platform that connects you with licensed security personnel. We cater for our clients' security needs, from manned guarding, door supervision, event security, all the way up to close personal protection. Alpha 1 Plus Limited, your one-stop security solution. Call now at 44-074-2526-7909 or send us an email on info@alpha1plus.com.
Established in 2006 as one of Glasgow's original mobile massage therapists, we deliver high-quality treatments with the ambition to forge permanent relations with clientele. We specialise in on-site massage, a type of treatment that has been specifically designed to complement the convenience and availability of massage at work. It is performed with the use of a specialist mobile chair, without the use of oils or the need to remove clothing. At Massage & Glow, we believe that massage should be a part of your everyday lifestyle. Regular massage not only relieves stress and tension, but also stimulates blood circulation, can help with pain management, and promotes good mental health. A must for your busy schedule. Various holistic therapies available. Contact us now on 07530 905 152 for your mobile massage therapist.
Yo, right across the internet, I could up on your mobile phone, I could up on your social media platform. This is Jambo Radio, www.jamboradio.co.uk. We're multilingual, we're conversational, in the languages where you understand. We are Jambo Radio, inspiring transformation.
Welcome back onto TouchPoint with Tayo on Jambo Radio. We're still on our conversation on crossing borders, and we're talking about living a balanced life. I still have my guest in the house, in the studio with me, Dr. Bode Balogun, a medical doctor, and I have Temi Alonge, a PR consultant and a personal blogger. You can still join us on this conversation on our YouTube platform, on Jambo Radio Scotland, on our Facebook platform, on Jambo Radio Scotland also, on X, jamboradio.scot, and on Instagram, jamboradio.scotland. On an email, info@jamboradio.co.uk. Send your comments and your questions, and I'll quickly take some comments. And there have been some conversations on our YouTube platform, and I can see Simnity Illuminate saying that thank you, Dr. Bode, for those words. One of the causes of burnout is an imbalanced life. Olusheyo Eleke made mention. He says, see, the first 1 to 3 years of any immigrant will hardly be balanced, considering the long list of things to be put in place to enable you plan and have the balanced life discussed. And Fatuki Tai made mention. He said, thank you to the guests for your thoughts, and migrants must do better. Take good care of themselves. Health is wealth. Thank you so much for your comment. Keep them coming in, and keep your questions also rolling in. And I want us to touch points on family dynamics, and I'll start with Temi on family dynamics. How do you maintain strong ties with your family members who may be living in different countries, and while you are adjusting? How often should you even visit your home country?
Okay, so what you don't already have in place, you cannot build it living abroad. If you do not already have a strong tie with your family back from your own home country, you can't build it overnight living abroad. So if you already, luckily for you, if you already have strong ties with your family back at home, it's not hard. This is the internet age. It's not hard keeping strong, close ties with your family. That's WhatsApp call. There are a lot of ways to keep body and soul together and stay closely connected with your family. And I lived in this country for a while without my family, my close family. I'll go personal now. And there was never a day that I do not talk with my husband on the phone. There was no stress on the relationship because we took communication quite important. Communication is key. So anyone you're already close to back from home, your siblings, your parents, we should just keep up that relationship and try to set expectations also, because you're living in a new country. There might be certain expectations from you, from your family. Let them know. They might not be living here. They might not understand how it feels being here, but you can, if you have understanding people that are enlightened, they might not have lived abroad before, but if they're understanding and enlightened, you can carry them along and let them know the true situation of things. This is what's happening. This is what I can do. This is what I can't do for now. And it's not even just like a transactional relationship. It's not. It might just be for them to just, they're your moral support, your emotional support. You're just keeping in touch with them for emotional and moral support reasons.
How should we handle pressures? Are there any pressures? If there are pressures, how should we handle those pressures from our family members?
Well,
I mean, you're married.
Yes.
How do you balance it?
Is it from my immediate nuclear family or from the extended family back home?
Family members.
Family members.
You know, we have stacks of family members and everything.
Yes. So family pressures. One thing about living abroad is if your relationship or your marriage is already on shaky ground, it's going to totally collapse abroad when it's just me and my husband, me and my wife. It's going to totally collapse. So, but if you have a strong foundation and you come abroad, by God's grace, you are going to survive. So those family pressures will come. Daddy is really tired from work and he just got back and the kids are crying. They want to be fed. They want to be taken for school runs and things like that. Those pressures will come. Even financial pressures will come. But if you have an understanding spouse, you can work anything out. This is a country where it's just you and your spouse. There is no grandma, there is no cousin or sister or auntie to be there to cushion anything. There is no one to cushion anything. It's just both of you. So you need to have a good understanding. And like I will repeat again, communication is quite key. Let your spouse know where it hurts. So you know this financial commitment, we can't take it on just yet. Let's wait. This is how much I can contribute to this. And this part of the world is not 80-20 or like husband take 80 and wife take 20. This is where I know that it's almost like 50-50. We'll put it on the table and we just help each other
out.
Yes.
Let me pose a question. Bode, what role would you say education or exposure to other cultures play in terms of managing family dynamics, family expectations? How does it intersect with a migrant experience?
Sorry, could you say that again?
I mean, what role does education and exposure to other cultures in terms of managing dynamics back home? You know, you've been exposed to other cultures, other lifestyle. They're managing the expectation of family members who are not in that particular culture or that environment in which you are. What role does education play?
Okay, if I get the question correctly, you're saying that how to you've imbibed other cultures, you know how to do things in this culture, but people back home might not really understand
it. You're right.
Okay, so I'm lucky to come from a family where, to be honest, nobody's asking me for money. So I'm not particularly pressured into, my baby brother is doing well, if you know what I mean. So, and I feel that even in Nigeria, the Western culture has already somehow, sorry, not Nigeria, I mean Africa.
Yeah.
People don't have to have come to the UK to know what goes on in the UK. You know, the age of the internet, movies, what's going on. So I think the education, there's no pressure of education because people are more exposed even back home.
Yeah, it's not as bad as
the
first generation migrants.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's better now.
It's better now.
It's better now than then. It's. I think we were one of the people that put pressure on our uncles. I would say that Uncle Alpha.
I mean, I have people who that will tell me now that now you're not here, so you know how it is now.
Yeah, thing it is really changed.
Yeah.
Things are really changed.
Odofewale is asking a question online. I want to point that one. He said, please. Okay, so he said, good evening, everyone. Nice to be here. Just join some minutes before the break. Okay. I have a question, please. Please, what is the long list of things to be put in place to have a balanced life? I mean, look at that in terms of family and in terms of where we're coming from in this conversation. What are those things to be put in place to have a balanced life here? Just briefly, probably.
Okay.
But they can just.
I mean, first things first. You're not. You plan. I mean, you don't come to the Western world. You don't travel from your home country thinking that something is waiting for you. So you need to plan. And as they say, you cut your coat according to your size. We all have dreams.
Is this size now according to your clothes now?
Anyone.
You shall cut it.
You. If it's a 1-bedroom you can afford, yes, that's it. So that's your budget. That's it. Your friends could be 3-bedroom. They could even buy a house immediately. Well, it depends on you. If you have the money, good. If you don't
put yourself under pressure.
Don't put yourself under pressure. The first to get to a particular destination, that's great. But as long as everybody gets to the destination, it doesn't matter when you get there.
Yeah.
The problem a lot of people have is you want to live a life that is not where you are at that point. And I don't know where the pressure is from. I don't know why. You don't need to prove anything to anybody.
Could it be a comparative that I'm comparing my life with someone else?
Yes, but then
I'm running someone else's race.
Yeah, I mean, and in that is there's the underroot or the factor behind that is low self-esteem. You drive a better car doesn't mean you're better.
Yeah. You pay.
Yeah, some people
pay for it.
Some people are not even really interested in good cars.
Yeah.
A car is not their thing.
The interest.
They'll rather.
They even have a car. They probably bought on the buses.
Yeah, and it's not like they don't have the money. It's just So if I'm not doing something, it doesn't mean I don't have the means to do it. It might just not be my thing. Some people like cars. They change cars every now and again.
Yeah.
Some people it's fashion.
Change gadgets and they have to have the latest iPhone and things like that.
For some people, they would rather just save all their money for a long holiday.
Yeah.
So what I would say to that is I won't tell you the things. I won't particularly tell you the things that you should have, but just have a plan.
Yeah.
1, cut your quota according to your size. And be kind to yourself and be patient to yourself. But have a plan.
Have a plan. Let me quickly go to the issue of gender issue. The migration and gender. I mean, I read a particular statistics also from 2005. It says women today make up nearly half of all international migrants. One reason is that family and migration, in which women usually outnumber men, have grown in importance. Now, I'll pose this question to Temi, because we're talking about gender, and most of the time we misconstrue gender to be woman thing. Let me toe that part so that I can be able to.
It's better for her to take that part anyway.
So that I can use that misconstrued idea to
Okay.
Ask the question.
I hope I don't give a misconstrued answer.
No, you're safe because nobody will come at you.
How does the migrant experience differ in terms of gender? Are there any specific challenges that men go through that women do not? Or women go through and men do not?
Well, in that regard, I wouldn't say is totally different when it comes to race. See, if you're in a foreign land, I think what they see more is color rather than gender.
Oh, tell me.
In my opinion.
Tell me.
No, it's not. It's not a man or woman thing here. It's not a man.
Well, forgive me if you'll be angry with this, but
no.
The world is kinder
to women.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna go back.
Let me give an example. Tell me, just go to the middle of the street and ask for help. I know you don't need help, but just go to the middle of the city center and say, somebody please help me, please help me, please help me.
Especially with the cool voice.
You get more. I'm not saying they won't help me, but you get more attention.
I know that.
But if I go as a man with that deep voice,
that is not.
Can you please? Everybody will still be wondering what's wrong with this guy.
Especially with a fresh face.
That is not peculiar to this side of the world.
Okay. Yeah.
It's not peculiar to this side of the world. It can happen anywhere. That example you just gave could happen anywhere. But where I see the issue is that there's disparity in anything would be a migrant being single or being married. I've had a personal experience with that before. I've lived abroad like 10 years back, and I was not the same person I am now. I don't that gender disparity. I don't really see that dynamic really strong, but I see. You see, then I was single and I was younger. Now I'm married and I am older. In a post-COVID era, where things are significantly different from back then, so the old dynamics is so different. The experience is totally different from back then, and I found myself having a different drive from what I had then. I would pursue a dream stronger now than then because I don't have anyone to cater to. It's just myself, and I would go for some certain jobs, and my dreams were also different then. So as married, and I think I can speak for most. So I have friends that I have young girls around me, especially in church, and that are young and single, and their life is totally different from mine. What I'm chasing is different from what they're chasing. Yeah, so those things, that life balance is different. What they're balancing is not so much. When I have a stack of things to level up with, they have just little.
In terms of traditional roles.
Yeah.
For example, how might traditional views of masculinity and femininity influence how the kind of job that you have? I mean, back in Africa, these are the kind of jobs that are for men. These are the jobs that are for men. As a migrant, do you have a choice of the job in terms of gender to choose from? There's
no choosing around here. It's what comes, especially when it comes to survival.
It's the beer that
it's counts. when it comes to survival. And I'll go back to we had some discussion earlier, and if you recall, see, this is the biggest culture shock you would have moving abroad, in terms of traditional role of a man and a woman in a family. They get intertwined, and they get exchanged. So sometimes the woman will have to even be the breadwinner for a while, and daddy and husband will just need to live with it. So when you're coming and you're packing your bags and you're coming abroad, leave some certain expectations behind. Don't expect the traditional or the cultural way of doing things back home to still hold any water here. Just try to be so open-minded to change. Be open-minded to possibilities. Yes, things would come up again and balance up later. But see, there is no particular job a man can do that a woman cannot do here. There's no role that a man can take in the family that a woman can take, it overlaps. As long as everybody is fine and you have a good understanding of why we are here, the end goal.
And you have a common agenda.
You would be fine.
You both have something in sight that you want to achieve.
So there must be that unity.
No migrant should come here thinking that I cannot do a certain job, or it's my wife that she's supposed to be doing that, or I'm not supposed to be. No, there is no. You can. Anybody can do anything. Anybody can.
In terms of adapting to change, I want Bode to weigh in on this. That people experience several changes. How do you think, in terms of career, work, family, either as a married person or as a single person, how do people need to cope with uncertainties or disruptions in their lives here?
Yeah, that's a very good question. As I said earlier, you're leaving your home country to a new country. There will be disruptions, and I think at the end of the day, one of the things maturity and growth will bring to you is resilience. And I believe in the power of grace, yes, and I understand that it's not how many times you fall, but your ability to get up, your ability to look disappointment in the eyes and say, I'll try again. The ability to not give up. Yeah. But to think that you will not have disruptions, or
fail at some point.
That's you dreaming. I'm in the health sector, and when I got in, it's not as simple as saying that you're new. There's a certain expectation that's demanded of you. So nobody is really saying, oh, this guy is new. He doesn't really know.
Take it easy on him.
It doesn't work that way. There's a certain expectation. Yeah. In fact, sometimes asking too many questions could appear like you don't know what you're doing. Yeah, but then at the end of the day, I tell myself that I'm here. I thank God for family, thank God for support, but I'm kind to myself. I'm kind to myself.
You're kind to yourself.
Yeah, nobody has my score sheets in their hands. My metric is how better I'm doing. You don't even have to see it. Yeah, as long as I can see it.
Okay, so what did you mention about resilience? I'll pose you will touch point on what are the other skills one should have in terms of maneuvering, navigating uncertainties and difficult situations or disruptions. Then someone asks a question, Adubo Funke has a question, which may be particular to you, is how long can you be apart in distance with your wife? Do you think it should not be? How long should it be?
It's just your wife. You're asking me. You should ask him.
Oh no, from your spouse. I
can go.
You can.
So how long should you?
Should you
in terms of
distance?
Yeah, geographically.
Yes.
But there's no amount of time, as long as you both can bear. If you can't take it anymore, if you think that you want to leave the...
How long is bearable?
It's based on individual. It's not a generic... There's no generic answer for that.
Okay, you've said about... let me hear from Bode. How long is bearable for a man?
We're not children, and marriage is not for kids. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, to be honest, I'm not old-fashioned, but I'm not the kind of man that wants to drag my wife and my kids through certain stress. So if the distance, when I got here, my wife was still in Nigeria. She had a very good job, and I wasn't going to pull her out of her job and just say, "Oh, I'm here now. I'm lonely. You'll come." No, you need to plan.
Yeah.
So it could be 1 year, it could be 2 years.
However long it takes.
Yeah,
How
but
long you can bear.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, is the two of you coming together, having an agenda. We know what we want to achieve, and there are seasons where it might not necessarily be ideal at the time, but then for what you have ahead, for the goal ahead, you would make sacrifices. And guess what? It's between you and your family and your spouse. People will tell you, oh, married couples shouldn't stay apart. Should married couples suffer? Should
married couples suffer?
Should they suffer?
Put a comment.
So you are going to a new country. You carry your wife on your back. You carry your baby on your back.
But speaking of that, that does open my mind to something else. If you can help it, don't stay apart. Let's put that out there. If you can help it, if she can be with you in the same geographical location,
In the same condition.
yes, in the same condition. God did not design marriage for you to be long distance. No, your man and woman are supposed to be together. But if you can't help it, there's some circumstances out of your control in this migration issue. So if the circumstances out of your control, please be patient. Please be understanding with one another. But if it's something that you can work out and it's not,
I mean, if it's the woman that comes to the UK and the man has to stay with the kid
I think we're going to. This is where we're going to be moving on till we're close today. So let me read a question from Professor Michael Balogun. Thank you for the interesting conversation. Will an African woman take up a security job? Will the African man take on a nanny job? There are still job disparities when it comes to the African. I think it's a comment more than. But can you
speak? Okay, absolutely yes. I've met people that moved to this country and they are willing to do absolutely anything. We've mentioned this before. Like you said, I think it's a comment, it's not a question, because we've addressed this already before. There is no gender specific jobs in this country. If the wife needs to be a security person for the time being, I'm sure that woman would gladly do it and put food on the table for the family if you have a good understanding in your marriage. If the man needs to be a nanny, let me not say he would. He should be able to do that. There's no gender specific jobs around here. It's in Nigeria. There's dignity in labor here. There's a lot of dignity in labor here. It's not like where we are from that you can't be caught dead doing some particular things. Here you can.
But really, separation between husband and wife should not be for long.
It
shouldn't be for long.
I mean, we say in our,
if you can help it,
in our
be
place,
for long.
but it not be firewood.
It shouldn't be for long.
But we're talking about specific situations. We're talking about circumstances. We're talking about the. We're not talking about the rule. We're talking about the exceptions. If.
I mean, they can agree on the number of.
You're very passionate about this topic. I can see that.
I am.
Yeah,
passionate about the topic.
I mean, we no matter how much we leave our roots, we still have traces of our roots in us. And one of the things that has been instilled, and I've seen my father, I've seen a lot of things, is I would rather take the hit than get the whole family to take the heat.
He's being a manly man right now.
So whatever I need to do to ensure that I'm not dragging people through the stress, I will do it.
I love that. I'd rather take the heat for the family. And that is really, really, really cool. I love that. It touched me. Because this issue of living a balanced life, we barely scratched it. You agree with me that
definitely.
We barely, I could bring just each of you on a separate days, and we deal with it and start digging into it. But as we wrap up today, can we talk on some, within a minute, some practices for migrants to incorporate into their daily routines to promote a balanced life, a balanced living? What are the practices that you think that they need to imbibe? Let me start from
well, I'll talk personally, like, and I know it sounds selfish, but give yourself some alone time. Spend time with yourself. Sometimes I just want the kids to stay in their room. I don't want any noise. I just want to hear myself think, strategize next steps, and breathe. Because it's a roller coaster around here. There's no nanny to help you. There's no help at home to help you. You are going from work back home, and back home is another full-time job with the children. So sometimes you just need to have that serene environment, but probably be your room, inside your toilet. Just try to spend some time alone, even away from your spouse. Spend some time alone to think. That's when inspiration comes to you, because with all that noise and all, so please take a walk. It's summertime now. Take a walk and listen to yourself.
Summertime.
Yeah, it's summertime. So spend some time with yourself. Spend some time with yourself. Try to do things that are therapeutic. I like to cook, so when I'm cooking, I think.
Okay. Let's quickly get to Papi in just a few seconds before I give you my last task.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, so, there's more to you than one. There are different areas of your life. Your career is just one of them. Your family is one of them. A successful life is a balanced life.
Yeah.
You cannot, and I say you cannot specifically, you cannot just focus on one thing and think you would be happy. You need to explore other areas of your life. So I would advise people generally to look for things that make them laugh, make them smile, and find a way to add it to your daily activities.
Last word, parting shot. Let me call it Timmy Speaks.
Yes, it's Timmy Speaks. You're right. So parting shot. Don't be in a hurry to tell people what you've learned or what you are learning. Take your time. Try to acclimatize, adapt to the new system and era. Give yourself time to bloom.
Thank you.
Give yourself time to bloom. That's what I was
Papi's words.
Yeah. So just give me a minute. I'll just pick one of my write-ups.
Okay, this the first.
Really quick. So there's more to you than one. Although you come as one, there is more to you than one. Your life is a sum total of all your experiences till date, and it will continue to be. You cannot be defined by a picture, a job, or location. If you are, then you are not living. And the moment you stop living, you start dying.
Wow.
Even if you're still breathing. What makes you whole is more than one piece. It is the multiple pieces that makes the puzzle fit. A balanced life is a life lived in a rhythm and not a one-way street. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Bode Balogun and Temi Alonge for coming to TouchPoint with Tayo today. You've been so amazing.
Thank you for
having me. And your
Thank
insights have been so lovely. Thank you. And thanks to our listeners today. Thanks to my producers, Tosin Ogunade, T Crown, Baron, I call him Dr. B, Bamdele Maoga at the top, Mr. Jota, and my backroom family, my researcher, social media team. Plenty of love to you guys. And that's it for this week. Ladies and gentlemen, until next week, remember, life's journey unfolds uniquely. Run your race to attract grace, for it is only within the race that grace finds its way. I've been your host, Tayo Oweye. Join me next week for another exciting and trendy issue. Until then, I wish you a happy night rest. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.